Hi, I'm Tony Van Veen, CEO of Discmakers. I just got back from the Making Vinyl conference. 450 professionals representing the whole vinyl value chain, from PVC manufacturers, that's the raw material that vinyl is made of, to mastering studios, pressing plants, equipment manufacturers, printers, record labels, distributors, and retailers. And here are the 10 latest, most interesting, and most important things that I learned that artists don't know about. Number 10. By now, you've probably heard that vinyl sales revenues in the US surpassed $1 billion last year. Here's a picture I took of a slide from an RIAA presentation that shows 19 straight years of vinyl growth culminating in that $1 billion last year. Also worth noting is that the US market represents about half of all vinyl purchases worldwide, but other territories, especially emerging markets, which are smaller, are growing faster. In all, pretty impressive, and we have a lot of momentum going forward in physical media. That ties in closely with number 9. The vinyl industry has achieved a level of healthy equilibrium after more than a decade of capacity challenges. First, there was not enough capacity, leading to order lead times as long as a year sometimes, which led to labels over-ordering new releases, which exacerbated the problem. Then, big plants rushed to add capacity, and dozens of new pressing plants cropped up, and for a brief period, there was more capacity than there was demand. I was concerned that there would be carnage, especially among smaller plants, and indeed, 4 or 5 small plants did close. But today, the market has rebalanced itself and is quite healthy, a good sign for the vinyl ecosystem. Number 8, vinyl counterfeiting is becoming a real problem, and it's global. Last month, there was a huge counterfeit record seizure in London, and the RIAA works globally on intercepting counterfeit vinyl records. I guess it's a sign of vinyl's popularity that counterfeiting has become an issue. What's fascinating is that nobody seems to know where many of these counterfeit records are actually being pressed, nor do we know how big the problem really is. Factoid number 7. There is a lot of pressure on record labels nowadays to create fancy custom packages. Fans increasingly expect physical music to feel more special than just a black record in a jacket. For major labels, that means multiple variants, elaborate packaging, and collectible editions. Independent artists don't usually need to go that far, but the lesson is the same. Presentation does matter. Of course, labels have much bigger budgets for these kind of special packages with custom jackets and inserts than you, the independent artist, do. The good news is that fans have proven to be willing to pay extra for fancy packages. Number 6, social media loves physical. There is vinyl talk and CD talk. We at Discmakers notice that we get the highest engagement on our social media when we show how the product is manufactured. Physical media gives fans something visual and special to engage with, much more special than streaming, and social platforms reward visual content. So, artists, when you get that new shipment of records or CDs from Discmakers, show it off on your socials with an unboxing video and other videos and images showing you interacting with the product and details with the product and your excitement with it. And tag us, of course, so we can share it. Vinyl factoid number 5. The industry is working hard at making vinyl more eco-friendly. There's a push to use more regrind from the edge trimmings and overruns or defects when pressing records, reducing waste. There are efforts to make records with PET plastics, which are greener and cleaner than PVC. And plants are putting in new high-efficiency gas boilers or switching to electric heating, which can run off of alternative energy. And many plants are putting solar on their roof. We did that 4 or 5 years ago at our Pensacola, New Jersey facility. In short, the industry knows vinyl has a carbon footprint and is investing heavily in reducing it. Number 4, CD sales are up. Funny, but at a conference all about vinyl, many of the panelists kept mentioning that CD sales are up strongly in Q4 of last year and Q1 of this year. Manufacturers, labels, distributors, retailers, they are all seeing it. Maybe it's because Gen Z is discovering CDs through their parents' collections and finding them an affordable way to own music on physical media. After all, CDs represent a great bang for the buck for you too as an artist. Number 3, manufacturing costs are going up fast. PVC, the raw material that's melted down to make vinyl records, is 100% made outside the US, in Taiwan and in Europe mostly, and is highly dependent on oil prices. As a result, PVC prices have spiked by 50% since the conflict with Iran began. On top of that, container shipping costs 50% more than what it cost before the conflict. And the cost of electricity to run presses and gas to fire up the boilers to melt the PVC are up big too. So far, many plants have absorbed these increases, hoping they're short-lived. I personally am not real optimistic that that will be the case because the raw materials facilities that shut down because of a lack of oil coming their way will take time to get going in. For now, we're not raising our vinyl prices, but we are watching this very, very closely. Number 2, Gen Z is taking to physical media in a big way, driving continued growth in the format. And not only are the fans getting younger, our sales team is talking to younger and younger artists looking to get product made. And finally, the number one most interesting data point I learned, between 60 and 70% of all records pressed are colored vinyl. Yes, black vinyl is the minority. The industry is really leaning into making every release special, and colored vinyl is an affordable way to do so. In response, the PVC suppliers have been making more and more colors available. Super exciting, actually. My big takeaway from making vinyl is that physical media isn't just surviving, it's evolving, maturing, and thriving. The fans are getting younger, which is great for the longevity of the format. Packaging is getting more creative, vinyl continues to grow, CDs are growing again, and artists who understand how to create products fans want to own are benefiting from all of it. That is good news for independent artists. When you're ready to put your next album on vinyl or CD, you know where to find us.